We looked at our expenses from last month, and let me tell you, it was very expensive living here in these Merida streets.
Yeah, it is getting expensive here, but we still love Merida. Now, watch this video to the end for tips on how to save money here in Merida or if you're living abroad.
My name is Terrence.
And my name is Lakeisha, and our channel was created to encourage men and women over 40 to move abroad so that they can leave career burnout and stress behind them. Right?
Definitely. We found a way to move abroad, and so can you.
Our first tip is don't believe the hype about the cost of living from YouTubers, including us, in Mexico and other popular destinations.
Make sure that you are making an informed decision about where you are moving according to your wants, needs, and your budget.
Yeah, because I see so many $500 a month rent videos, especially here in Merida, but all over. And we want you to make sure that you are living according to your wants and needs and you're budgeting according to your wants and needs. Because I can tell you right now that a $500 a month rent apartment or house isn't going to fit our needs, and it may not fit yours. So I wouldn't want you to go buy those type of videos, right?
No, we're not knocking anyone, but we know our needs and our wants.
Yeah, and so what we're suggesting is that you go on a scouting trip to find out the real cost of living according to your standards and your wants and needs.
And definitely make sure your living costs are going to be as low as you think they're going to be.
We also think that when you're on your scouting trip that you should visit grocery stores to see what actually the price of food is in the country that you're deciding to move abroad to, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, we can tell you how much we spend each month on groceries, but it won't mean much to you because we have different wants and needs in grocery shopping.
Exactly. So our budget is going to be different. So that's important to do when you're going on your next scouting trip, is to make sure that you're actually going into grocery stores to get an idea of how much your monthly budget for food would be.
I can tell you how much we used to spend in Uber and DD rides as well, but it wouldn't matter to you because, you're not living in our area.
Yeah, you may not live in our area. And where we live very close to stores, supermarkets, and malls. So our DD and Uber rides aren't going to be that much money. But if you're living further out, of course it's going to cost more. And your monthly budget for Uber and DD is going to be more.
We also found out that we had to get a car because Uber and DD wasn't going to be a good fit for us.
Yeah, it wasn't a good fit. We didn't like waiting around for the rides, rushing out to the rides, and forget it if we had to go to more than one place, because that meant that we had to keep on calling Uber rides. So it just didn't work out for us. Yeah, because we just needed to get up and go because we just couldn't be frustrated with the DD situation. But getting a car was definitely an unexpected expense for us, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Especially because we were depending on walkable neighborhood advice when we found our house and thought that we would save money by not having a car.
Yeah, but that didn't work out. That's why it's important for you to have your own scouting trip, so that you can feel out all of these things. Because just because we're giving you advice about something that worked for us doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. Another thing that we want you all to keep in mind, especially here in Merida, is that if you rent a house, you are responsible for maintenance and repairs. When I say maintenance, you're looking at, like, if you have a pool, you have to pay for it to get maintained. If you have a lawn, you're responsible for keeping up your lawn. And, Depending on what your rental agreement says, you are also responsible for fixing. The majority of the rental agreements makes it so that the tenant is responsible for fixing repairs in a house. Completely different from the US. So usually anything that's not underground plumbing or structural issue, if it's not that, it's on you as a tenant to fix. So I think that that's also something that's very important. So when you have a scouting trip and you're working with a real estate agent or whoever you're working with, this is something that you will learn and be able to put that in your budget so that there's no surprises, right?
Right. Living in Merida is not cheap, but it is certainly more affordable than the United States, especially if you pay attention to how much you are spending each month.
Yeah, it is. It's not like you said, it's not cheap, but it is affordable compared to the US. But let's take a quick break. If you're enjoying this video, please hit the subscribe button. But right now, let's go back, right?
Now back to the show. When looking for a house or apartment, avoid popular areas promoted by YouTubers.
Yes, this is key, and this is something that I wish I would have known before moving to Merida, directly in Merida. Stay away from these popular neighborhoods, and again, that includes Merida. As soon as you notice that there's popularity on YouTube or social media for a certain place or area, the prices of housing is going to skyrocket, right?
Excuse me. Yep, definitely. Research neighborhoods that are close but not directly in the areas that are being promoted on YouTube or social media for the best prices on housing.
Yeah, because Merida is getting so popular, and not only are we competing with other Mexicans that are relocating from other areas in Mexico to Merida, but it's also a popular place for expats. So the housing prices are rising very quickly.
Cost of living may be affordable in a country, but what about a flight home? Or what about if your loved ones want to come see you?
Yeah, so like if there's an emergency, when you're deciding on what country you're going to live abroad in, it's important to think about, not only you're thinking about the cost of living, but think about those flights, you all. That's so important. We took Thailand off of our list because even though the cost of living is much more affordable than Merida, a lot more affordable, when we think about those long flights and the cost of those flights, that was a big no for us.
Please don't be like us and think that because that you're living abroad and saving money that you can call Rappi every day for desserts and go out to eat every other day of the week.
Yeah, please don't. When I looked at our Rappi and our restaurant expenses this month, I was in shock, y'all. I seriously was in shock. Those expenses add up quickly.
Don't expect to make money in your new country through employment.
Yeah, and if your online business isn't making any money when you move abroad, please don't rely on this income to survive. Please have a financial plan ahead of time so that you're not stressed out when you move abroad, right? Because we want you to move abroad and experience less stress with a better quality of life.
So learn from our mistakes and please be mindful of your budget.
We moved to Merida for a better quality of life and to save money. Even though it's affordable here in Merida, it's not cheap, you all. And dining out and entertainment expenses can add up quickly.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who is interested in moving abroad.
Also, comment below if you have other tips for saving money abroad. Until next time.
Adios.
Expat Barber.